Hi, John. Welcome to the AR show.
Good morning. Good evening.
Very good morning to you. So, it's our pleasure to host you today. And let's start with your fitness journey. How did you get into this industry?
Um, it, my fitness journey began in high school and college. I was a swimmer, and that was my passion. Started my sophomore year in high school, which is very late for swimmers. But I ended up I had some natural talent and doing pretty well, and it opened up some doors for me to get into college since my grades weren't that great. So I had plans on, or my coach and I had plans on trying to do the 98, or I'm sorry, the 88 Goodwill Games, and then possibly the 92, or trying for the 92 Olympics in Barcelona. But when I got into college, I had some tendonitis issues a little bit at the end of high school. And in college, got it got really bad, where one morning I woke up, I couldn't lift my arm. Um, and I went to therapy. I went to specialists and tried to rehabilitate for about a year or year and a half. And after about a year and a half to 2 years of just trying to get back to where I could swim again, I had to hang it up. I had to hang up the goggles, and it was um, it was crushing. Swimming was my whole identity. When you're 18, 19 years old, and so I didn't really go to the gym. I got heavy. I got up to about 250 pounds, and I thought, oh man, I'm fat now. I got to lose weight. So I didn't know what I was doing. I just joined the gym, started working out. I'd work out for 3 hours a day. I'd just be killing myself and hardly eating anything. And I lost a lot of weight, but it wasn't healthy at all. I was eating under 1,000 calories a day. And I looked like I escaped from prison. I was so skinny and gaunt, and a trainer there stopped me one day. He goes, what I see you in here for hours a day. What are you trying to do? And I told him, I said, I don't want to be fat. He goes, well, he asked me what I was eating, and eating's, 80% of everything for fitness. And I told him, and he's like, oh no. And so he gave me a meal plan, and I tried it for about 3 months. My body completely transformed. Um, and I was like, wow, I'd like to teach this to other people. So I got my first cert in 1998, and I trained for a few years. It was a full-time job at one point for about a year. And then I was living in California, and I came back to Arizona, where I live now. And I got married, and my then wife, we had a child together. She wanted to be a stay-home mom. So I was working two jobs for a lot of the time, had no time for the gym. I just ate whatever, and I got heavy again. And then after about 10 years, we got divorced, and I knew how to get back into shape. I knew um, what to eat, how to do it. So I got back into shape very quickly. In probably 8, 9 months, I'd completely transformed my body. Um, and I thought, well, geez, as a bucket list thing, I thought when I turned 50, I'd like to do a bodybuilding show. And that's where the bodybuilding part of it really began. And so I hired a coach, again, eating properly. Did my first show. I did pretty well. Or for a beginner, I did pretty well. And then I did another show, and then I met my now wife, and I was on path to try to get a pro card. And
Okay,
we went off path a little bit, and for a few years, and traveled and had a good time. And 2 years ago, I'm like, okay, I need to get back to this. This is what I was doing. I'm trying to get a pro card. So here we are today.
great. And what is your daily routine? Like, what time do you wake up and what time do you sleep? What is your daily regime?
It's pretty regimented. We go to bed early and get up early, so I'm up about 3 o'clock in the morning. By 3:15, 3:30, we are both at the gym. I do my cardio in the morning. My wife, she lifts weights, and we come back home, have breakfast, get ready for work, and we both go to work. At the end of the day, I go back to the gym, work out, come home, and then to bed. We're asleep by 6:37.
Wow. And don't you think it's very different routine because nowadays people sleep at 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. in the midnight and you are sleeping at 6:30. So do you spend some time on social media also or you avoid or you complete it before 6:30 only?
I mean, I know what that's like to do the midnight 2 a.m. thing. I've done that before in my past. I don't feel like I miss anything. Um, as far as the social media, I have a guy that does my videos now. Say puts them together. Um, so my interaction or part of that is very minimal.
Okay.
The quality of what they're doing. So, and it's really made a big difference in getting followers and things like that. And it's been 95% positive feedback. So it's a different life, definitely.
Okay. And it's good because following this kind of discipline is very tough, I would say, because people are still struggling to maintain this kind of. In fact, I also do daily work, but I try to always sleep at 11 a.m., 11 p.m., but I couldn't. I have to like I sleep at 12 or 12:30 just because I have some work. But if you can manage with that, because I'm sure that you also manage your stress level as well with the help of
Yeah,
this routine. Absolutely right.
I try to, but
Yeah.
work can start early, and we just went on a vacation together, and work still happens. It's part of it. You just got to take care of it. So,
Okay. And how often do you go for a vacation?
well, not as much as we used to. Or we do we'll do like a 3-day weekend somewhere, things like that. But the bodybuilding, it's all day, every day. Even
Okay.
on
Uh,
vacation, I'm doing it.
okay, that's superb. Because in the vacation, people are on a different mode and they don't focus on the training part. They just focus on other things, which I think bit against from the fitness industry. I'm not taking the words. Okay, I'll say that they'll go for alcohol things and everything, but they don't take care of their health.
Mhm.
So this is something people should learn from you that if you're going for a vacation, at least give yourself 30-35 minutes of stretches. At least you can do a basic stretching if you are not
Oh
if
yeah,
you don't want to do body weight exercises. Correct.
yeah. I
People
mean,
can manage that. Yeah.
it depends. It's all on what you want to accomplish, what you want to achieve. If you want to go on vacation and just forget about everything, that's okay. You know, um, for me on this last vacation, because I have a show coming up here in about 7 weeks, I
Yeah.
couldn't really do that. So
Okay. And when you start your preparation for any competition, let's take an example after 3 months or before 3 months or 6 months, how many months or days you should start for a prep to get that
yeah,
shredded?
I try to be some fairly lean through my bulking phase, as if because often it takes time, to do it right. So prep typically will start 12 weeks out or 3 months out, and it's a very
Okay.
gradual, you know, changes in your diet, changes in your cardio. The weightlifting kind of stays the same, but it's just you want to taper down your calories. It's not drastic, and my body responds very quickly. Like we did a
Wow.
calorie reduction last Sunday, and we do high day, low days as far as carbs, and I instantly in 3 days lost 6 pounds. But most of that is water, glycogen, things like that. It's not losing muscle mass. It takes much longer for that to happen. But my body lets things go pretty quickly because it's probably running at a my metabolism's running very high.
That's more important because if your metabolism is higher, then your body will respond very quickly. Okay,
Mhm.
so do you also skip eating carbohydrates sometime, or what kind of daily diet you take?
Um, yeah, carbs are your friend. I, you never want to. I mean, you reduce them. Um, they never go away. Like currently, my total caloric intake, 50% of that is coming from carbs. I know,
Okay.
like in America, a lot of people, oh, carbs are bad. Well, if you eat too much crappy carbs and do nothing, yeah, it's not going to be good for you. But carbs are should be a part of every meal, as well as proteins and fats, balance.
Yes, absolutely. Because people should understand this that carbohydrates is the main source of energy. If you don't take adequate amount of carbohydrates, you cannot use that energy for your workout, and definitely you won't be able to lift heavy as per your capacity. If you want to
Right.
build muscles, you should have a proper carbohydrates, and of course,
Y-
protein is required for the recovery part.
Yes.
Perfect. So that means you are saying that in US also people think the same. It is also like same mindset here in India also. People skip carbohydrates sometimes. So just tell me one thing, like um, during your prep, don't you think that your testosterone affects because of a very strict diet and you are not taking specific some kind of like fat foods you cannot take? Does that affects? Did you feel any changes in your body?
Well, I eat clean. I eat real foods. I tell people when you go to the grocery store, you go to the produce section and the meat counter, and then you leave because the rest of the store is chemicals. It's not even
Yes.
really food anymore. So whole real foods, one ingredient foods, sweet potatoes. There's
Well,
one ingredient. Beef, one ingredient. Chicken, it's broccoli, it's whole real foods. Skipping out on carbohydrates. I mean, you can do that to a certain degree, but if you're eating clean, your body your body will do a much better job with it.
and perfect. And from the morning until evening, what diet do you take? Just can you name of them?
Yeah. So for breakfast, I eat 5 times a day. So breakfast, I have cream of rice, and
Okay.
that's my carb. And then I have egg whites. So I don't really have too much fat in that meal. My second meal is, depending on the day, is lean ground beef and rice, or sometimes no rice, just depending on if it's a high, low day for carb cycling. Um, my pre-workout meal is rice and lean turkey breast. My post-workout meal, rice and lean turkey breast. And my before bed snack or meal is a protein shake and about a half tablespoon of peanut butter.
Wow.
But I'm also in
And
a cutting phase right now, so it's the calories are reduced.
okay. And what is your favorite cheat meal?
Oh, well, it depends. I mean, it's not really a cheat meal, but I love sushi, so
Wow.
that's a very clean cheat meal. But I love pizza.
Yes.
Oh well, my biggest downfall is ice cream. I
Ice cream.
Yeah, ice cream is good.
And how often do you take? Like, if you feel you want to have it, then how many like this days of gap you maintain in between? Like, if you eating today, then
Mhm.
when after this you can have?
As far as times, you mean?
Yeah.
So
So you, yeah.
I try to eat about every 3 hours.
Okay. Perfect. And John, at age of 56, your physique is better than most of men in their 20s. And what are the three non-negotiable principles you follow the that people today are missing?
Um, no excuses. Get plenty of rest, and exercise every day. I mean, I lift weights 5 days a week, but I have one complete rest day. That's a Sunday. But sometimes I'll go do a little bit of cardio or do some stretching, do some recovery. But the body is made to move, not just lay around. And I'm the reason why I look the way I do is because I'm very strict. There's no
Yes.
deviation from the plan. So anyone can do what I've done. I should say I also believe I have good genetics. My grandfather came from Italy to the United States, and my dad told me he had huge arms because he would shovel
Oh,
coal into the furnace at the steel mill, and he was huge.
okay.
So I have good
Wow.
genetics, so that helps.
I can see that. Your height is 6 feet 5 inches, right?
Correct.
So usually what I feel that most of the people get an advantage to get a good height. Do you feel any kind of disadvantage getting a very good height like you have? You are 6'5"? Any challenges
Um,
you have faced till now?
well, I need to have more muscle than somebody who's 5'10" because I look like a beanpole. You know, I look like a telephone pole. I don't have anything to me, so I have to work very hard to build the muscle. You know, all the eating, all the exercise, the rest and recovery, which is a huge factor. Um, I probably have to do a little bit more, but I'm also, I think, a little bit blessed with good genetics. So um, when I'm on stage or next to someone who's shorter than me, you know, their muscle, they might have not as much muscle, but because it's more compact, so it looks bigger.
Yes.
For me, it's a
Yeah.
little more spread out. So it's a
Okay.
little bit of a challenge.
Absolutely. Fair enough. I understand. Okay. And as per your body weight, what's your body weight right now?
This morning I got on the scale. I was 225 pounds.
And how much protein do you take daily as per your body weight?
Probably about 250 grams a day,
Okay.
ballpark. We just changed it, so I don't know off the top of my head, but that's about right, about 250 grams.
Okay. It could be more than that also in some cases,
Yeah,
right?
it wouldn't do me any favors if it was more. You know, the sweet spot is 1 gram to 1.5 grams per pound of body weight.
Perfect. Okay. And you have been athlete since your swimming days, right? How much of your current physique is built on the early foundation versus you have built after 40?
So I think for me, swimming, I mean, it's running with your arms essentially. So it helped me to get this V taper where I'm wide in the shoulders, you know, the lats,
Yeah.
chest. So that beginning helped build this foundation for how I look now. In my 40s, I was married and I didn't work out and I got heavy. I was about 46, 47 when okay, time to get back to the gym. So it doesn't really matter what age. If you build the muscle when you're young, if you're an athlete when you're younger, before 25, your body will remember that. And
Yes.
it's easier to get back. So if you didn't have the muscle and you're starting in your 40s, yeah, you can get in great shape, but it may not be the same, you know, as somebody who had it when they were younger.
I think this is called muscle memory, right?
Correct. Correct.
Perfect. And what one best compliment you get from a male in your gym or anywhere after looking at your physique?
The one thing that's a byproduct of all this. So, I mean, young say, man, I want to look like you. When I tell them my age, they're blown away. Like, are you kidding me? And people my age in their 40s, 50s, they look and say, you know, how do you get like this? And it's like, it's just, it's all in your mind. You know, you have to have the right mindset. You can do whatever you want. You just have to have a goal and stick to it. And yeah, it's a lot of hard work.
Okay.
So I'd say
And
inspire.
eh, yeah, so you
Mm.
inspire a lot. Actually, I when I saw your profile, I was like, wow, man! Every person, every male wanted to look like you at your age. You know,
Mm.
so you are actually inspire so many people. And okay, one compliment from a girl you receive on in your gym, as
Oh,
after looking at your physique.
I would. Girls probably don't say anything in real life, but online, I might get heart emoji or a flame emoji. Things like that. So,
So how do you feel after that? Do you feel like yes,
it's,
you have achieved something?
no, it's not that to me doesn't. I mean, it is nice. It's a compliment, and I always take it as a compliment. But it doesn't make me feel any better about myself. Because how I think about myself is all me internally. It's me against me.
Yeah.
So, um, it is it's nice to hear, and my wife, we get stopped for both of us because she looks fantastic too. She's in great shape, and both say, "Oh, are you two competitors?" And my wife's like, "No, I'm just his cheerleader," but she looks like she could be a competitor. So I think it's just inspiring people, and it's a compliment, and I treat it as a compliment, and I am grateful, and I'd be thankful.
Wow. I have seen your wife also. She's also a fitness freak. So do you guys work out together?
On occasion, like this morning, we'll go work out together. But for the most part, like in the morning, I'll do my cardio. She'll lift weights. In the afternoon, I lift weights on my own. I like to work out by myself, you know, and I'm just in my own mind and focused. And so,
Because I feel that it becomes very tough to work out with your wife. I
yeah,
personally believe that, and I'm sure that many of the male will
yes.
agree with that. Yeah. So this is absolutely uh, okay. Now audience understand what exactly you mean to say.
Sure.
Okay. What actually changes after 40 in terms of muscle building, especially testosterone levels, recovery, and metabolism, and how
Um,
should training adapts?
um, I can only speak for me personally. My testosterone levels were in the toilet when I was, I think, about 45, 46. I had my testosterone levels checked. And I think the normal range is between 300 to 1100, depending. And I was at about 300. And I had no motivation. I just didn't care. But I was also not very happy in my life. Um, and I tried some natural ways to increase my testosterone. Nothing really worked. So that's when I started TRT.
Okay. Let's talk about TRT then.
Sure.
Because you are a professional athlete, so do you take steroids or you are only on TRTs?
I do take some other, we like to call them PEDs or PEDs, performance enhancing drugs. Yes, I do take some of these things, um, but I take them in very moderate to low levels. More is not better. And I would never recommend anyone to start any of these things unless, I mean, it is a serious decision. Um, unless you're going to do bodybuilding or become a professional bodybuilder, which is my goal. Um, you, you have to get your blood work every 2 to 3 months because some people abuse these things, and
Yeah,
it's very dangerous. So for me, yes, I mean, I've always been honest about it, but I don't advocate it. I don't. And people think because I do them, that's why I look the way I look. And that's not true. It's the food, it's the training, it's the recovery. If anything, the steroids, they don't help. I mean, they do help with the building, but it's more of the recovery, a speedier recovery to help you build faster, perhaps. But um, and when you get into your 40s, everything slows down. But again, you
yeah,
can change that at any time. You just have to speed things up, you know,
correct.
start exercising, start eating properly, No, I mean, minimize your consumption of alcohol or any kind of drugs or whatever. For me, all that is out the window. I don't do any of those things. I don't drink. I haven't had a drink in a year and a half because I'm so focused on accomplishing my goals. So,
Okay. And this is my personal question.
mm,
Like in your 30s, what was your energy level? And then what difference you have felt in your 40s and then 50s?
um, through my mid 30s to mid 40s, that's when I was married. I didn't go to the gym. I just was going through life. My energy level wasn't the best.
Okay.
After that, exercise definitely helped me with stamina and just
Yep.
overall feeling better about myself. Um, but I have problems sleeping. I've had problems sleeping for years. I don't know if it's insomnia a little bit, but I do take a sleep aid to help. I have no problem falling asleep, but my brain kicks on,
Okay.
and you're awake at 2 o'clock in the morning. So if I slept more, I average about 6 hours a night. If I got one more hour, it is such a big difference. But
Okay.
like this morning, I was up early. I was up at 3:30 and just awake. So,
Okay. And a lot of young guys today are worried about low testosterone. What are the
mm,
biggest lifestyle mistakes that are killing their natural testosterone? What do you think there?
alcohol, number one.
Okay. Yeah.
In America, um, I mean, alcohol consumption, it's on the decline for the first time in many, many years. But
Okay.
alcohol, it just kills your testosterone. Your diet also, if you eat garbage, you become garbage. So, those things, both of those things will take your testosterone down. But you just never know until you go get tested. You know, some
Correct.
people ask me about TRT, how much I should take, or I go, I have no idea. I'm not a doctor. What's your blood work say? Go talk to your doctor
Correct.
about it. So,
So let me conclude your last point that people should understand that if they are not participating in competitive bodybuilding, they should not take TRTs and steroids. First of all, they should avoid because it is dangerous for them. And if your sports demand these kind of things, then only you should get into this. Still, make sure that it should be in under the guidance.
oh yeah,
Correct?
the guidance
Agree?
of a professional, um,
Absolutely.
or somebody who has years and years experience. But there's also natural competitions where
Yeah.
you are go do a polygraph test. You can't have taken anything for 7 years. And for younger people, I think that's a great avenue. And those are growing in popularity because, it's it's healthier in the sense that you're not putting something else into your body. But
Yep.
on the other side of it, it is a part of this sport and it's not going to go away. You can always change. It's all up to you.
Okay. And one more thing, like what happens in US that people start avoiding alcohol, as you said, that it getting decline. What happens? It because of awareness or there's something else happen?
I make sure I understand your question. So, are you asking
So
when it starts? Go ahead.
now actually you just said that in US now people have declined consuming alcohol.
Oh,
Earlier they
yes,
used
yeah.
to have a lot. So what happened? What happened then? Is it because of awareness they start drinking? They are avoiding alcohol or what?
I think partially that. There's also marijuana is legal in most of the United States, so there's other
Okay,
things to do. I think if people are choosing other things versus alcohol, alcohol was legal for forever, and now all these other things are now legal or perceived to be better for you, but they all alter your state of mind. So I think people are just choosing differently.
I feel that if any substance is controlling your mind, that is not good for your health. Is it?
That's what I think too.
Got your point. Okay, for building an aesthetic physique, what matters more? Progressive overload, time under tension, or exercise selections? And how you should someone prioritize them?
Probably progressive overload. It's mechanical tension that builds the muscle. So your first 6, 7, 8 reps are great until you get to a point where you're starting to hit that failure point, and failure is a big
Yeah,
question mark. Well, what is failure? But it's where your form breaks, or you're struggling to get that last rep out, and then you should stop. Um, that's also, people will exercise and they think they're close to failure, but they could do a lot more. So they're not getting as much out of it. It also depends on what experience level of a lifter you are. In the
yeah,
beginning, you will grow muscle very quickly. As you get, after 2 years or 3 years, it slows down. So the progressive overload is key, I think. Um, just because you're constantly putting that muscle under stress, but you can achieve those things with time under tension, or other things. Um, Slowing down the rep, increasing the rep range, a higher rep range. Once you hit that mechanical tension point, it, it's it's happening.
okay, cool. Um, People train hard but still don't look aesthetic. What are the biggest mistakes you see when it comes to building a visually impressive physique?
It's what they're eating, 90%.
Okay,
So if they don't have their diet dialed in, you can't train through a bad diet. I can't train. I can't look like this and eat nothing but cheeseburgers every day. You know, you It's
correct.
what you put in your body that helps you create that physique. So I see
Yeah,
people in the gym that had just looked the same, and they've been doing the same thing year after year. And, sometimes they'll ask me when I tell them, you know, it's what you eat today? Oh, well, I don't know. I had this or that or whatever. Until you get your diet dialed in, you can get to a place where you just stagnate. So food is number one.
good. Because I also felt the same, right? Same thing because I have also transformed many times. And what I felt that if I focus on my diet, my body drastically change.
Oh yeah.
So diet is number one, which you have said. Perfect. Okay. Just let's talk about your Instagram and your journey.
Okay.
Here we go. So this is okay. So who shoot your videos?
It's a friend of mine is in the gym. His name is Micah. He has a you see that shirt there. He's created a clothing line called Mindset, and he does videography, he does pictures, and he does all the filming. His fiance puts the reels together. They do my whole social media for me. There's no way I
Okay.
could ever put anything together that is this quality. So, and
Please
it
tell
makes
them
a
that they
huge
are
difference.
doing a very. Please tell them that they are doing a very great job. Your videos
Well,
are very good, very good. I'm
that's
telling
why
you.
we're speaking, is because of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
Because
mean,
when
they
I
got me
connect with
noticed.
you, oh, yeah, yeah. And okay, let's talk about this.
Oh
So,
yeah.
do you guys really work out like this, or this is just for a shoot?
We do, like mentioned earlier. Today we will go to the gym and we'll
Yeah.
do workout together. We may not hug and kiss and give high fives, but we do work out on Saturdays together.
Oh, every Saturdays. Perfect.
Just about every Saturday.
Okay. So this is you, right?
Yep.
You look totally different without
Yep.
beard.
Yeah.
I have also noticed that if, especially in the males, like when they clean, they become totally different personality, and
Mhm.
when they have a good beard and hairstyle, they look totally different. People
Yeah.
can see that. And did you feel like I have seen in so many people like somebody has a weaker shoulder, somebody have a weaker chest. What is the weaker muscle according to you? If you ask me, in your physique, it's totally perfect. But let's talk about this part also.
It's probably my back. See, that's my back pose there. At a
Okay.
professional level, my back needs to be bigger, and I've been working on it for the last 2 years, and it's definitely improved. But the front, my chest and shoulders, I think that's built from the swimming years, or at least that. But yeah, I need to have a bigger back.
So bigger back in which sense? Like you need broad muscles or broadness of your back?
Broadness of my back and bigger lats.
Yeah,
Some of the,
lats.
and again,
Okay.
it's genetics. Some of these guys, their lats are. I mean, it just looks like a slab of beef. It's incredible. So I'm trying to get my back to match my front.
Got it. And share your experience with your wife with this. How was your feeling after this, after the competition, and how much she supports you with your competition?
Well, this was my first competition. Well, we went through COVID, so there was no competing. I did couple competitions in 2021, and we met um, May 16th, 2021, and so this was my first competition back after 3 or 4 years. So
Okay.
it was a great feeling. She was there for me, doing cardio in the morning, going with me in the mornings. She's been my biggest cheerleader. So,
Yeah.
but bodybuilding is can be very stressful or straining on a relationship, just because it's you're so structured that.
Okay. And this was your physique. So this much, like you have whenever you were in unshaped. So this is the actual physique of yours, or you were
Well, that
heavier than this
was I.
also?
I was starting working with my trainer. Let's see that time. And then the other picture was just a few weeks before my first competition back, the one you just showed.
Your profile is really very good, so impressive, and we can see your. So, are you a model also?
Yeah, these are older. These are 2021,
Okay.
2019.
Okay, got it. Now I can see your
And I would do
this
these. There
physique.
was a point where I didn't post that much or that often, but I also wanted to show, like, look, I went from this to this because I made a
Okay.
decision to be better.
It is very tough. So, what is discipline for you?
Discipline is, I mean, there's motivation and there's discipline. Motivation comes and goes, discipline does not. So for me, going to the gym is like brushing your teeth. It's something you're going to do today. Whether
Yeah.
you want to or not, you're going to get it done. And there's times where I'm not feeling it, and I'm like, oh, okay. And I get in, and every time I'm done, I'm like, I'm glad I did that. So it feels good.
Okay. And John, what one message you want to share the youth about the fitness?
Um, I would just say choose to be better. You can do anything you set your mind to. It is hard. People don't like change. Whatever you're not changing, you're choosing. So if you're not changing your life to be better and I always tell people, do it in baby steps. Don't say, oh, starting Monday, I'm going to flip my life upside down, because by Friday, you'll be done. So it's little pieces. Like if you drink soda every day, a can of soda, stop that. You have something else, just little pieces to work towards being better. And eventually, these little changes become one big change, and your body will respond. it is hard work. It is difficult, but it's also very rewarding.
Wow. And can you break down your current weekly routine? How do you balance intensity, recovery, and longevity at your age?
So, let's say starting Monday I have cardio and training. You know, they're about 12 hours apart from each other. Uh, my biggest thing, I pack all my meals. Every gram of food is weighed out either that morning or
Okay.
the night before. So there's no guessing. So it's preparation. And the biggest thing I try to do is the recovery side of it, getting my sleep, because that's where the magic happens. That's where your body recovers, gets rid of
Yeah.
toxins, gets rid of cortisol, builds muscle, improves cognitive function. If I could do anything for me personally, I would want to get at least 1 more hour sleep a night. I would be so happy. But I average about 6. Um, and as far as the longevity side of things, it's um, no partying, no drinking, eating all good foods, you know, enjoying my time with my wife, um, spending time together, things, try to, let go of the bodybuilding for a few hours, and be a real husband.
Great. Okay. My last question, which is on days when motivation is zero,
Mhm.
what system or mindset helps you to stay consistent, and what advice would you give to young people who struggle with discipline?
When motivation is zero, and it does happen, there's times where I'm tired. I don't want, it can't, I can't say no to it. Um, I just go and do it. But again, there's been times where I've taken like, I'm not feeling today. I've taken a day off. But having a goal, working towards something helps with the discipline, because if you have a goal, then it's like, I got to get this done. I have to do it. For me, shows do that, competition. Otherwise, you can slack off,
Yeah,
but if you have a goal, set a goal for yourself, and work towards it.
great. Thank you so much, John, for giving me a lot of information about your health and fitness. You
Mhm.
are an inspiration for me and for our youth. They should learn how you can be consistent and disciplined at this age. And as you are turning 57, you are going to inspire a lot of people, I'm sure. And our
I hope
people will
so.
love that. And I tell my people, if you really like his physique, you all should go on his profile, like his page, follow his page. And if you want to ask anything, you can ping him.
Yeah,
He'll be there
I try to
to,
be,
yeah,
yeah, I try to answer every comment. Sometimes it's a lot,
yes,
but I try to answer every comment. Any real question, I try to answer. There was a post that hit 1 million views, and it was nonstop. So if I don't answer you back, just ask me again, and I try to. Another thing, I have a training thing set up, but I had to revamp it because it was taking up too much time that I didn't have. So I'm working with uh, my videographer. He's we're putting together something that we can roll out and help a lot of people. Um,
yes.
and if you're interested in that, I just asked to check it out.
Perfect. So, guys, let's go to his profile, follow him, learn from him, and he is a very disciplined guy. What if you really want to talk to him and listen to him again? Mention part two in the comments just right now. And John, hopefully, we'll see you again. And whenever you come to India, we'll
Yeah, let's
definitely
do it.
host you again.
Yeah, that'd be great. I'd love to go to India.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.